give you more updates on this tragic situation out of southern Florida today that we've been following for most of the day here. This is live pictures right now out of Surfside, Florida. And you can see that rescue dogs and rescue emergency officials are still on the scene, as they will be for quite some time throughout the night now, looking for those 99 people who are still unaccounted for at this very hour. We'll be getting a live update in about a minute's time from the scene, from Fox 35 in Orlando. But the news that we are learning right now, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis issuing a state of emergency there. I also read to you a statement we were getting in from former President Donald Trump, who obviously in his post-presidency, he is a resident of Florida, and he issued a statement today, and I'll read that in part. My thoughts and prayers are with all of those impacted by the building collapse in Surfside, Florida. Thank you to the incredible first responders and law enforcement for arriving so quickly on the job. As always, he ends it, I am with you all the way. Good luck and Godspeed. Joining us now, we want to bring in from Fox 35. She's been on this story most of the day, Fox 35's Holly Bristow. Holly, so good to see you. What is the latest? What are we getting now at this hour? It's about a little after 7 p.m. now on this Thursday afternoon. What are you learning?
You know, at this point, the numbers are staying the same, but there's a very uneasy feeling here down on Surfside Beach, people knowing that at any minute it could take a turn for the worse. We're still hearing 1 dead, 102 people have been accounted for, but there are still 99 people that have not been accounted for. The fire rescue department down here for Miami-Dade just posted some video a little while ago. They were down in the basement of this building. It's full of water. It looked like a very dangerous situation. They had part of the roof above them held up with jacks. It's unclear exactly what they're doing, but obviously it's part of the search and rescue effort going on here. Now let's put this all into perspective. This incident happened around 2 o'clock this morning when most people were sleeping, and when you take a look up at that building, it really just sinks in. You see a bunk bed up there on the 11th floor, and what you know was likely in the middle of somebody's bedroom that now looks like it's out on a ledge a couple stories down. You see blankets dangling from the side of the building, and underneath all of that there is a debris and rubble field that it goes 2.5 stories up the side of this building, and that's part of what search and rescuers need to go through. They've been out here with drones, cadaver dogs, search dogs, you name it, sonar, trying to find anybody in the midst of this rubble. And at this point, we're still, waiting on an update on if they are still finding people in the midst of the rubble, and when they will start finding people in the midst of this rubble, because it's going to happen with the number of people that were likely sleeping at the time that this building collapsed. It's a multi-story building here, a 12-story building, and it was likely full of people. The number of travelers we've had down here along the Florida beaches has been a lot. People just wanting to get away because of COVID. So obviously people are very uneasy, hoping for the best, but obviously knowing that the news is going to start getting grim at some point soon. The building is about 40 years old. We're told that they were in the process of redoing the roof of the building. It was due for an inspection sometime this summer. So the cause of this is still unknown, and obviously that's something that we're looking into right now as things continue to develop out here.
Holly, a couple of questions for you. First, give us a sense of the size of the rescue operation at this moment. How many emergency officials are on the scene? How many jurisdictions have been called in to assist with this?
There are 5 major organizations, from FEMA to the Miami-Dade Fire Rescue to the local fire department here in Surfside, all the surrounding areas. I was learning from our cohorts at Fox News Channel that they've got a world-renowned search and rescue organization here with the Miami-Dade Fire Department that's actually sent throughout the world and throughout war zones to help search and rescue people. So very talented people that have trained for these types of things. But, you know, at the end of the day, this isn't something that we're used to seeing in the United States of America. This is something that we're used to seeing in third world countries. So they certainly, from what I've been told, have the best on the ground, looking for people and hoping that they can still find some survivors amongst the rubble back there.
No doubt. I mean, that is so true, Holly. This is something we just don't see every single day here. Buildings just collapse in the middle of the night, especially in a major American city. Have we heard at all? We've heard from a lot of, you know, lawmakers, elected officials, the governor, you know, President Biden. Have we heard from the owner of this building at all? What's you know, the latest on that? Have we heard anything?
You know, at this point, we haven't heard from the owner of the building, but, you know, at this point, the number one concern here are those 99 people that are unaccounted for, and that is where the majority, not the majority, that's where every bit of effort is going for at this point, because as you know, in situations like this, if there are people stuck in that rubble, time is of the essence, and it happened around 2 o'clock this morning. I can't do the math here on the top of my head, but you know, it's probably been at least 15, 16 hours since this happened. So they want to get anybody out who they can help, who they have a chance of rescuing, and who has a chance of survival. And for those who didn't make it, their families need to know what happened to them. So that's what the priority is out here right now.
And Holly, just last question for you. We're showing some aerial pictures right now of the scene itself, but give us a sense. No doubt you've spoken to lots of bystanders there on the beach who have just come and wanted to get a look at this scene. Are they shocked? Give us a sense of, you know, what residents are saying at this moment.
You know, people are shocked. People are scared for the people who are unaccounted for. People are frightened. And we've seen some really nice things happen. Everybody from the Miami Heat to the Marlins to the local soccer team here have sent supplies out here for those who are affected, who are looking for loved ones, and first responders to help them, you know, get through and be a bit more comfortable in all this. Just a little while ago, a pastor that was actually over talking with some survivors at the Family Reunification Center came out here, asked everybody to stand in a circle and raise their hands towards the buildings and say a prayer. They did it in English, they did it in Spanish, in a very non-denominational way, because there are a mixture of cultures and religions here, and people just willingly did it, and you could see in their eyes that people genuinely care and they're genuinely concerned about the folks that are trapped inside that building.
And Holly, obviously, you know, nighttime will come very, very soon. What are the plans going into the night and into the early morning hours tomorrow?
From what we're being told, this search effort is not going to stop. They're going to keep working all the way through, doing everything they can to try to find each and every person who is unaccounted for at this point.
All right, Fox 35's Holly Bristow, thank you so much, live on the scene for us there in Surfside, Florida. All right, and we are still following this story here. Obviously, this is the biggest story of the day. We want to show you, though, a video that we have just gotten in. You heard Holly there mention firefighters from Miami-Dade Fire and Rescue going into the basement of this condo complex and hoisting it up. We have that video we want to show you here right now. And there you can see a lot of standing water in the basement. You can see how they're hoisting up the ceiling, trying to break through there in their search and rescue operation. Lots of firefighters on the ground. So this is just a first inside look that we're just getting of the operation itself, how they're conducting it. We also just want to show you some other video that we've gotten in from the scene, the moment when the condo complex itself collapsed, and also a very harrowing rescue attempt. Let's take a look at that right now as well. So there you can see, just very, very briefly, that rescue attempt, just more video that we've gotten in here. And you can just see the really chilling Part of that photo right there is those bunk beds on the 11th floor. Holly mentioned them, and much of the debris on the ground, the cars strewn about.